Hello and welcome to Dog Day Chess. In this episode we're going to look at a concept that I first learned about while reading Aaron Nimzovich's book, My System. The book has a section explaining the idea of keeping contact with the enemy king in order to reach a key square with tempo, and although there were only 2 short paragraphs in the book devoted to this topic, it was something that really made an impression on me. Even now, as I'm revisiting it, I think it's very cool. More specifically, what we're talking about is reaching a square that requires several moves for you to reach, while all along leaving your opponent with no opportunity to counterattack your maneuver. Here's an example from my system. It's White's turn to move, and White wants to bring the queen to the e7 mating square. But the pawn on e4 is in the way, and it's protected by the bishop. The quickest way to get the queen to e7 would be via h4, but that wouldn't work because Black could play e3 with the discovered check on the king, followed by rook a1 mate. The way for White to handle this is to find a route to e7 that allows him or her to keep contact with the enemy king every step of the way. In other words, to make every move with check. And queen f1 check, followed by queen b5 check, and then queen captures c5 check, and then finally queen e7 mate does the trick. This maneuver allows the white queen to reach the e7 mating square without allowing Black any opportunity to defend. The next example is also from Nimzovich's book, and this is the example that I thought was the coolest thing. Again, it's White to move, and if the white queen captures the Black knight immediately, then Black can play rook a1, skewering the king to the queen and winning the queen. However, if the white queen can maintain contact with the Black king as she makes her way to h1, which she can do by moving to g4 and then h3 and g2, then she can capture the knight with check and then get off of the back rank before Black has a chance to skewer. Even without the skewer threat, this maneuver would be better than immediately capturing the knight from h5 because it allows the capture to happen with check and therefore leaves White with the initiative. This last example comes from one of my games, and I was pretty happy to be able to put this remarkable concept into practice. I was playing White, and we pick up the game from this position, with our queens facing each other and the Black pawn on g6 attacking my queen. I'm currently down a knight for a pawn, but believe it or not, there's a way for my queen to win this rook on a8. I start by playing queen to c8 check, making my first contact with the Black king. The king must move to e7, allowing me to keep contact with it with queen b7 check. From here, no matter how Black gets out of check, in the game he blocked with the knight, I'm able to win the rook. So in this example, I maintain contact with the enemy king in order to reach the undefended rook in the corner without allowing my opponent any opportunity to defend it. As always, I hope you learned something from this episode, and thanks for watching.